Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to run down a list of crop losses that you probably didn't see in the media over the last couple of months. One of the latest harvests in Alberta, Canada that the farmers can remember. They're still trying to seed after a wet spring, and then they're harvesting crops that were buried in snow. Canadian wheat and canola stocks smaller than thought. You got these potato chip crisis in Japan, $12 bags of potato chips. Lettuce shortages coming out of the U.S., world barley crops, 34-year low, and then cotton all-time futures high, just like the cattle a couple of weeks ago. I cover these exact same issues on episode 21 of Mini Ice Age Conversations. You can join me on Stitcher, iTunes, and Soundcloud for that. And please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 while you're watching the video. Contrary to all the rosy forecasts coming out by the experts, one of the latest harvests in Alberta, Canada, farmers can ever remember. They're still also trying to harvest crops that were snowed under last year. It's late planting because of all the flooding. And even the commissioners at Alberta Wheat Commission talking about it's one of the latest harvests they ever remember. And even one official estimates now more than 1 million acres went unharvested in central and north Alberta. And then the Canadian wheat and canola stocks are smaller than thought. 100,000 tons below expectations. Durum wheat, 1.1 million tons short of the expectations. Cold weather delaying Yukon growers from putting seedlings in the greenhouses. That's a couple months ago. Showing a trend that Canada seems to be getting cooler and affecting the agricultural already. World barley stocks fall to 34-year lows, so when we're looking for substitutions, when wheat gets more expensive, the sub out to barley's not going to happen. And following on the heels of record price rises in wheat, limit up stop trading 3 days in a row in cattle futures, now we got cotton futures hitting fresh highs, soaring limit up as well. What is with the agriculture? We're told there's plenty around the world, and then everything's hitting limit stop up. Jumping over to Asia, the potato chip crisis. Panic buying. $12 bags of potato chips due to low harvest, bad crops in Hokkaido Island. Now please take note of this. This never happens in Japan. This is a rarity that supermarket shelves are bare due to lack and scarcity. They call it the potato crisis. And we're also seeing losses of potatoes globally. Wet conditions. Speaking of that, lettuce prices on the rise in California's wet winter prevented planting, so they don't even have a harvest for 3 months. They're going to be planting again here if the rains stop, but there's more fronts coming in. California statewide precipitation, October to February, record last year. I pulled this one from about 2.5 months ago. Blueberry plants, North Carolina and the peach farms also. Rises in fruit prices, you've already seen that though. And jumping over to Zero Hedge to round this out, empty shelves and madness in America. This was one small winter storm. Remember, back in middle of January, it was one tiny little winter storm. And this is Walmart. Everything was emptied out within hours. And you know, my channel is all about these changes we're starting to see are going to become permanent changes year upon year. And the intensification of our weather is absolutely going to begin in August of this year. Look for the ramp up and out of season patterns. But next year in 2018, everything comes unwound. So the prices you're seeing here and the scarcity and lack and the fear base, it's just going to increase from this point forward. I highly suggest that you start talking with your neighbors, with your family, and get your plan B together. This was sent to me by one of my viewers. Thanks for the slide. I think that speaks for itself. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you got something out of it. And with all these crop losses, which are going to continue to intensify, jump over to Trade Genius. Talk to Bob Kudla. He's also trading on the Grand Solar Minimums. You're going to need available capital as things get more expensive. Credit locks up and we get into an economic crisis during this time. Bob's the guy you want to talk to if you're interested to see how commodities are going to play out over the next few years.